5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Oh, somebody still got their music on. Oh, somebody still got their music on. Hello, Gracie. Hello, Kenneth. Welcome. Who are you?
Welcome, everybody. Hello, I'm Michael.
And I am Grace. And together, hello,
we are California Travel Videos. I think, everybody. Hello, I'm Michael.
And I am Grace.
I hear somebody. And together, we are California Travel Videos. I think, everybody. Hello. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we're the pros. Not.
We are so professional today. We've got like people all around us. Where are these voices coming from? Anyway, it's nice to have you here today, and we're going to have a fun show today. Grace, what do we got in store?
We're going to be talking about the great Tracy! I have to get into
Tracy!
Brand here. Hold on. That was so
Namaste.
Sweet. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
You're so good.
So
we miss you.
I just had to relive that trip, and amazing. Okay, so a little backstory on our premiere video of the Hiawatha Trail.
Yes, that's a good start.
Two nights before that, I started Googling all the details. So Michael and I had been wanting to go on this trail since 2019 when we heard about it when we went across the country. And we put it in our bucket list, and yes, we're going to do this. That's the crown jewel. Yeah. Well, 2 days before we're actually supposed to do it, I start Googling all the information and all the details, and I run across the tunnels, one being 1.6 miles, the trellis and the height. And I literally start, and I am so close to chickening out. And finally I tell Michael, I said, honey, I got to talk to you. I've got a confession to make. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. You know? And he was like the perfect, okay, this happens once in a blue moon. No, it doesn't. But the perfect spouse, because he literally talked me off the ledge, and he started talking about they wouldn't let you do this if it wasn't safe, you know, all the logic things, you know. So he literally held my hand this whole trip. And the day after we got done and we'd gotten down the road about 100 or 200 miles, all I could think of is I wanted to go back and I wanted to do it again. It's like that fun ride at Disneyland that once you get off, you just want to do it again. So that was awesome. So thank you, Michael.
Yes. And hey, we got Water Girl and Water Boy is here with us too. Good to have you all here. But it's so interesting because we all have our, I don't know, phobias, you know, the tapes we've been played as our youth, or, you know, the anxiety. You know, movies these days can do it to us easily, or even television on YouTube. Yeah, some of those things also, I suppose. But, and for us men, it's like, you know, kind of sharing our heart and soul. Well, that's like, that can be scary for us too. So we all have things where we have room for growth. And I guess, is that kind of what we're going to talk about a little bit today, Grace? Or what's, isn't that kind of what it's sort of about, isn't it?
Exactly. We're going to talk about the great outdoors and how relevant it is on our trips and on our journeys. And it really does not matter to what extreme, because technically Michael and I, hi John, we don't push the extremes. We don't rock climb. We don't, Michael used to ski. He used to snow ski. But there's certain things that we ourselves aren't willing to quite do, but to get out there and to enjoy Mother Nature and to enjoy, because that's part of the journey. So some of the things we want to talk about is, do you plan your trips around the activities, or do you plan your activities around your trips? So if you could put that in the chat, that'd be great.
Or how you live your life. If you don't, I think a lot of these things, what we do on our lives, go to our travel, but not necessarily. I mean, sometimes we are anal retentive in one ways and not in others. And we'll kind of talk about ours. We'd love to get your inputs also. And our wonderful, awesome moderator, Kenny, is like, you definitely are, I want to say poster child because you're not a child, but yeah, you are compared to our age. And happy birthday coming up once again, coming by part of his progressive birthday. And so he is really, what would you say, Grace? He has a lot of enthusiasm and energy.
He's inspirational.
And he's a good sport.
And he's inspirational. Kenneth is an inspiration.
Inspirational, yeah.
Because one of the things that we wanted to talk about tonight was some of the elements that make things possible, and it's see it, believe it, and achieve it. So seeing it's easy. You can see things in a dream, you can see things in a movie, but when you cross over to that second threshold of believing it, oh, I can see myself flying, from over the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. But unless I'm in a plane, I don't really believe that. So taking you from the achieve it, see it, believe it, achieve it. And Kenneth, that's exactly what you do each and every day. You don't let the obstacles hold you back. You find a way to see your visions. You find a way to believe your visions, and you are finding a way to achieve your vision. So we are like very, very in awe of you, and you are very inspirational. So never believe you aren't.
But I've discovered his secret.
Oh.
Yes, it's that two things. One, he's got that beautiful kind of plush chair. I mean, he's like on top of the world. A land cloud adventure, whatever. I mean, he is like, that's an awesome chair. And so, yeah, he can hang out in there for many hours. The rest of us fall asleep. And to be true, sometimes he takes a little cat nap. But hey, he has some of these nice spicy foods, and this, he's good to go again. So
that's right.
I think those are a couple things for him, isn't it?
Yep, we like that spice, Kenneth and I. In fact, I went to the post office yesterday, Kenneth, and there is a package with probably about between 8 and 10 different types of food that I was able to pick up here in California. And I really went for the kind of weird and off the radar type of foods. So we're going to send those out to you for your taste test. We love those videos.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what Gracie's doing now. She's another one that's adventurous. A lot of people, has had a challenging work environment, and then to have ours is about 24, 25 foot Class C, and hers, we do kind of less for it, Gracie. Hers is, 30, 31 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good size, but
yeah,
and
she drives it all by
sometimes
herself.
If there's a thing that she has with it in terms of a maintenance issue, it doesn't let it slow her down. She's like, I can achieve it.
So John says, usually when I travel, I usually plan all the above. If I see a known little attraction that's around the way I'm traveling, I'll stop there. So basically, you're not going out of your way to find that attraction. It's just if it's in the general area, you're going to go ahead and stop. Is that correct? Let us know in the comments. And also, I was thinking I'm going to put the link into where anybody who wants to come in toward, I'd say maybe about 10 minutes before 6 o'clock. So we can sing a nice birthday song for our birthday boy.
Oh, that's a nice thought. And
So,
hopefully we can have a chance for some to come up aboard a little before that. So hang in there if you want to. Love your comments now. But yeah, so I guess, Grace, you mentioned our that trip there. And we had been wanting for a year or two to go to the Hiawatha Trail. But, it's really the last time we went around the United States, it wasn't kind of on the way. It was about 200 miles or more out of the way each way, by the way, because it's the northern part of Idaho. And it's just
and it's
right on
hard to
the
get to.
corner of, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So it's right on the tip of Montana, but then when you go back, you're going through Idaho. So wherever it is. But anyway, but this trip, we said, this will be a big thing. And we hadn't been up to Coeur d'Alene up in that area. So I guess in a way, at least on that trip, we knew that was one of our destinations. We wanted to go to the Escapers Rally, their convergence, as they like to call it. And that was near the Grand Tetons. But I guess, like we're looking forward in January to going to Quartzsite. I guess maybe some Quartzsite and some for another one of their rallies with the X Capers. And so that'll be at Lake Havasu. And we went there a couple of years ago. Last year, the C word, nothing happened, as you know, in the most get togethers. But yeah, it's coming back again. And so I think we have some fond memories of that area. So there's one where we don't oftentimes go to a place we've been before. But, we love to go and meet. What does the saying go, honey? The Girl Scout song? Make new friends and keep the old. One is silver and the other is
gold. But speaking of
gold.
silver, if you hadn't had an opportunity yet to see the video on Wallace, Idaho, which is very near the Hiawatha Trail, and the great part about Wallace is they have a campground right there that goes in one direction toward the Coeur d'Alene Trail, and then the other directions, they're only 12 miles from the Hiawatha Trail. So for those of you who love to RV and love good trails, the Wallace you got to check out that video. It's phenomenal.
What did you like best about it?
About Wallace?
Yeah.
I like the serendipity because I first heard about Wallace when I read an article from the Smithsonian Magazine that talked about the top 15 best small towns to visit in 2021. And right when read that, yeah. I put it in my iPhone. I have my notes section and I have a bucket list places I want to go. And I put it in there right then. And then when we were starting to plan the trip for the Escapers for the Pacific Northwest, I am in a Rails to Trails group on Facebook, and I started pumping them for some of the trails. What were the best trails? What should we see? What don't we want to miss? And lo and behold, somebody mentioned Wallace and that they had a campground there, and it was right on the path of the trails. And immediately it clicked in my head, and I went to my notes, because you can just pull up your notes and you can put in the search bar, put Wallace, bam, there it was, already on my list. So that was serendipitous.
Yeah, that's a good point, is that we did kind of have a see it, believe it, achieve it type of thing. We had an expectation there, but I don't think that we realized, well, when you get in the city and you kind of like the smart money always like, where should we go? And so the silver mine is like, oh, okay, a silver mine. But the guide on that was someone who worked the mines, and he actually started up some of the equipment. And, once you see these hoses that are about this big around, and they have 120 some pounds per square inch, and they actually start moving this machine on the ground. He explains how he didn't do the dynamite, thank God, but it starts like showing all the things that happen. He did drill a hole, 10-foot deep hole they drill. And I thought that was just to see. Yeah, right. Like, that's what he's like, a gopher. But no, it was really, I thought, at least for me, I mean, to see someone who was passionate and could answer no matter what you wanted about that. I had no idea that, they have like a layer that we're on the 500 or 1,000 foot deep level, and some are at 2, 4, 6,000 feet. And, to explain the different areas and what they do for safety factors and lighting and things, it was It was phenomenal.
Yeah, and one of the most interesting things was learning that Wallace, Idaho was actually more silver came out of that mine than any other mine, those mines in Idaho, than any other mines in the United States. So I had never heard that. I had never known that. So a lot of times these small towns and the history that they have is really intriguing. And Michael and I both enjoy that. So we like to share with you our history, or not our history. Well, yeah, the history of all of us collectively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and John's talking about, sometimes he has a destination, but he goes on the side roads and stop because of those quirky things. So, and we've had some of them when we went around the United States in our 90 days or better part of it, is that some places we got and we just kind of like, oh, or in fact, when we started the trip and we were going through Nevada, is like we get to, where did we get the city of Elko, Nevada?
Mm-hmm.
It's just desert, whatever. And we're at the pub, and we'll get some hamburgers, at the RV facilities where we were staying, and the people were quite convivial after some beverages and drinking, and so somebody mentions the Lamoille National Forest, and like whatever, but then he got talking about it and said, "Okay, just stop what we're doing. We're going to spend a couple of days on the side road. This is important." And that was a big plus for you, wasn't it, Grace?
Yeah, that was another beautiful. And again, when you're planning a trip and when you're going and when you're seeking adventures, it seems like when you don't plan your trip inch by inch and you let your trip just kind of happen, all these wonderful things come about. So I want to give a shout out to our Penny, who is here with us. And Penny is our granddaughter, our oldest granddaughter, that we were blessed to be able to spend some time with today. So these are the moments that matter for sure.
Yeah. In fact, Penny, I guess you and any like your brothers, when we had a friend, and I think some of you here probably know him, with Kevin, Mr. Nomak experience. So, when he wanted to go to Yellowstone, or excuse me, Yosemite, like a lot of people do, but hey, it was closed, got too many people, you don't have a reservation. So he went to Shaver Lake. And so Grace and I heard about that, and we said, we're going to do that next. Yeah. And had a phenomenal trip. That was where we kind of really got to learn the ropes about using our kayak. We were novices at that spot. And so, okay, I've got all the nice pumps and everything, so we can have it electric and it can hook it up to the EcoFlow Delta. And boy, I'm going to be great on this. Well, that's when God laughs at you when you think you're making plans, because the EcoFlow Delta, it wouldn't work on the 12 volt. I would have to use 110 volt and have a converter. Okay, I won't do that. But we started using an air pump and it was going nowhere. Well, it turns out that the plug that I was using, what was it for, Grace? It was a drain plug. So it was just going back out. So the next day we finally got going. But, I think we were good sports. It's like sometimes you have to lick your wounds and say, better luck the next day. But if you're adventurous, but, when I guess even if you're going in a motel hotel, it's like there will be some things that are challenges. And I think, like when you said, believe it, that's a big part of travel, is the anticipation. There's always going to be some lines to wait in, or some things you thought were going to work one way and they don't. But sometimes if you can be a good sport, you might learn some things more than just what you wanted to achieve. Haven't we had that?
Definitely true. So our granddaughter is telling us she's got several things. Our cutting board I left. Sorry. We've got 5 left. We'll be okay. Michael's cup, our earbuds. So instead of sending a package, if they get that opportunity, we definitely hope to see them in our neck of the woods soon.
Young lady, I know I'm getting old and I leave things behind. This is part of my sprinkling trust. I leave things behind for people. So, sorry about that.
Sprinkling trust. I like that. Yeah, so
But
we'd
yeah,
love
tell us.
to hear some of your adventures
Yes.
or some of the trips that you've taken where Michael has a saying where preparation meets opportunity. So if you want to go ahead and leave in the comments some of the times that you planned a trip and things just worked out, or some of the roadblocks, because that's another thing we wanted to talk about. What are some of the roadblocks? What are some of the obstacles? What are some of the things that try to stop you from achieving your see it, believe it, achieve it?
Yeah. In fact, let's talk about one as they're maybe getting their things or questions you want to ask us. But we had one come up just about a day ago, and that was like, well, 10/4, rubber ducky. No, 10/4. That's the date when we got married, October 4th. And so it's like, oh, that's coming around pretty soon. And Grace is like, well, how about if we go somewhere we can get on the bikes as well as the kayak and Lake Sonoma? And of course, you know what happened. Even though it was a Sunday and a Monday, which are normally not the crowded days, Grace said, they're all filled up, right?
No, honey, that wasn't the problem. It's Lake Sonoma is no longer taking any reservations. They have it closed. And then the Lake Mendocino
Oh, because of
supposedly.
the C word?
No, it's more because of the fires. And unfortunately, it's very frustrating because it's those that don't behave, that maybe 1% to 2% of the people that don't follow the rules, and they start fires when they're not supposed to. So right now they're closing everything down, saying no camping because of the conditions being so dry that they're afraid that it's going to start fires.
Just on that note, I did see something a couple weeks ago. RV Travel, I think is where it was. And somebody was saying that at the campground they were at, you weren't allowed to make a fire except in, those metal fire pits. But some people they maybe don't see the signs, not paying attention. I don't know, or just figure, hey, I've got my firewood and I want my s'mores. And so they were making some fires. And they said it was about 15% of the people or something like that were doing it. So it's more than just, I think, 1 in 100, but I don't know. So yeah, we sometimes we have to carry the cross of those people that one in few, whatever it is, do these things. But as Tracy knows, having been involved with being a first responder in terms of when people are out in the woods and lives are dependent on it. Yeah, we have to give them the thanks and the respect. So Tracy, you and all the people out there that are involved with supporting our police and fire, it's like the military, all those, we thank you for your service.
Yeah, we can never thank you enough. In fact, when we were coming home from our family get together, long overdue, we saw a fire right over the hill from us. And should we be interrupted, that means that this phone right here has sent an alert that says evacuate. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think they'll be able to control it, but it's a real thing that we here in California and a lot of the West Coast is living with on a regular basis right now, is those fire alerts.
Well, I guess down in the South, with the, if it isn't a tornado, it's a hurricane or a
flooding,
cyclone, whatever it is, they have their challenges also. And we just like, well, that's unfortunate. They get the floods and all these other things. But now that in the recent years, as we've been having our challenges, so I guess that I just go by the philosophy is have yourself good insurance and have your RV where you can throw some things in quickly if you need to get out of Dodge.
And upload those treasures. And I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Michael and I both love photography, and I am kind of a photo snob, but that's completely another story. This story has to do with if you print your pictures, put 1 in the box. If you don't print your pictures, put 2. But for your photos that are not able to be replaced, when you upload your photos onto Facebook, you can set your preferences in an album for either public or private. So you can put who sees this, only me. So if you have valued photos. And sometimes just use your iPhone and take a picture of your photos, because I'd rather have a picture of my photos and not have my photo at all, and get them uploaded. That's free storage. And you're never going to print those pictures bigger than a 5x7 anyway. So do it.
Like that. Wow. You kind of hit the nail on the head, didn't you? Where'd that come from?
That is the gong. So
I'm gonna have to go see if I can match. I'll be back in a second.
Michael's gonna go get toys. He always has more toys than I do. But anyway, we used this for the first time on Steve Turtle's show last night, and it was a big hit. Aha, no pun intended. So if you've got some dad jokes, I love dad jokes, like, why was 6 afraid of 7? Anybody know? Oh, wait a minute. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Is that a gonger? Yes. 1 if it's a gong. 2 if you liked it. So if you have some dad jokes that you want to share with us, if you put those in the comments, we'd love to share them with all of you. Come here. You want out? Oh, I'm sorry. I scared my puppy. Come here. Okay. So Kaliki has had, come on up. Let's give a Kaliki status. Come on, baby. No, he's so non-cooperative these days. He's got the old man syndrome. Come on up. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here. So anyway, he went to the vet. He's about 10. He had a pretty good checkup overall. So he's got some issues in his ears and he keeps shaking his head, but the vet wasn't able to find anything, and Michael's doing a really good job cleaning them. But he's either got selective hearing now, or he's got the old man syndrome where he just feels like he can ignore us.
Both.
Michael thinks he's ignoring us, but I think it's the old man syndrome and he just can't hear.
So,
Did you find a toy?
I thought I was, but I went in the closet, and good luck with that. But it turned out it was wind chimes is what I was going for. But I did remember I put it, although you have the gong, but let's see if this works. I need something solid. Oh, it doesn't begin to match yours.
Oh, you don't even want to play with me, buddy. No.
What do you mean you? Where did you get that? Where did it come from?
When Michael was the president of the Rotary, he wanted to have sound effects. And he knew, okay, the backstory is the Rotary has a tendency, every time there's a new switchover in the presidency, the bell goes missing. So Michael wanted to make sure
it's a huge bell we have.
Huge bell, and it always goes missing. It's a prank that's been going on probably for the last 20 or 30 years. And Michael wanted to be one up and wanted to be prepared. So he bought several gongs. And after doing that for about a week or two, his bell showed.
Oh, no, several months.
Yeah. I'm going to put us back in here. And did you have any more thoughts on the great outdoors, honey?
Oh, lots. It is kind of interesting because I want to talk about harmony for a second. Is that you really find out about a person when, you, honey. No, me. Well, because one person's finger's pointing, 3 more pointing back at you. But, it is true that when you are traveling with other people, you kind of find out what their needs and, can you complement that? And you like the diversity or not sometimes. And certainly when you're traveling with another person or maybe your pets are normally pretty easy. Kliki's pretty easy. But, we all have things that are our needs and our preferences, I guess. So I think it's one thing if a person is, I can't remember how Mark Twain said it, but where the adventure of travel, if that's what you're about, you're probably going to enjoy things that twists and turns along the road. And if oh, there's an RV couple. They're doing really great. They have about 50,000 members in the first year, so they're really going strong. And she is where, oh, we have it on a spreadsheet. And unless we have it booked 6 months ahead of time, we're just not going to do it. And he's more kind of like us, kind of like whatever. And they get along quite well with that. I'm sure they sometimes laugh at each other and appreciate the other person. If they'll put, the time, talents, and treasures, if that's their preference, I think that is okay. So I guess I think we learn about ourselves as well as about other people when we go through this thing you're talking about, Grace, is which way. And there are times when no matter what our primary tendency is, if it's somewhere we really want to go, like you just saw in the video that we had today, yeah, we're going to make sure is that, if they have a limited amount of people, we have to make reservations. We're going to do it because if that's the requirement and it's important to us, we will do it. So it was this last Tuesday, I think the 22nd, and it was 9:00 in the morning, California time. 11 o'clock Central time is when they opened up for the escapees annual convergence, the annual bash at Lake Havasu. And man, I was right on there at 9:00. I was getting the reservations that day. Now we may not get there the first day, we may not stay the last day, but it was something that we wanted to do. So that was kind of important. But as we go down there, sometimes we may go out through Tehachapi Patch, and other times we just might. Well, remember that, Grace, when we went down there and to Quartzsite. So we were going down Interstate 5, down into the Los Angeles Metro. And I thought, well, maybe we'll want to take a look at some RV sales facilities, maybe make that part of a video. But we got down there. Now this isn't going to work. And there's an Elks Club, which sometimes we'll stay at an Elks Club. And this one happened to be at Burbank. Well, Burbank, isn't that Hollywood? I mean, but we got down there and the people were really nice and really inviting. And it was kind of serendipitous, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nice. It had a lot of noise from the different roads and sirens and trains. So for sleeping, it probably wasn't the best, but it was a great place to stop. I just want to recap for those coming in. Our show tonight is regarding the great outdoors. And the question is, do you plan your activities around your trip, or do you plan your trip around the activities? And by activities, as whether it's boating or skiing or golfing. So if you want to leave that in the comments, we welcome your stories and would love to share those. And we will.
We will the red group here, makeup mom and son. I mean, like maybe they've got some tips on makeup, or maybe they've got some thoughts in terms of travel or things like that. We'd love to hear you share some of your adventures with us also.
And I did also want to give a big shout out to all of those at M21 currently. Michael and I are very remiss that we're not at the party, because I love a good party. And we've got so many friends there that we're missing out on, and we know they're all having a great time. I think it's 8:30 there, so it's dark. So I think the RV DJ has a live currently going on right now as well. And who doesn't want to be at the party, right? Is there any way we can link?
Wait a second, is Sonia there at M21?
Honey, I wouldn't say everybody is at M21, but I would say a lot of people are at M21.
Oh yeah. But I thought, Sonia, the RV DJ, she normally is working this time of year. But I hope she could get away. That would be cool if she could meet up with the good boys and girls.
She's at the party.
Mm-hmm. And the Journey Awaits is with us also. Howdy. And I wonder how soon your next journey is. If you want to tell us a little bit about what's coming up for you and your style in terms of when you go different places. Do you like to plan, or do you just like to go do it and then see what happens along the way?
Yeah, things are really changing on how we go about doing things. But even our most recent trip, I the only reservations we had was when we met with the escapers in the Tetons. That was our only place that we had booked prior to the trip. And everything
That's true.
else we pretty much did on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
So we were
In fact,
lucky.
some of the place. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. That's it.
I would say some of the places we stayed is a good, for instance, is like, well, we didn't book places where we're going to go along the way. We knew, at least we thought we knew that we wanted to go up on the coastal route, up US 101 through Oregon. See the ocean. What could be better than that? I mean, it was fogged in the whole time,
And
little rain with it too. But so, okay, you know, that's part of the way the dice are, at least it wasn't hot and there wasn't any forest fires. So, okay. But when we got up to the border, the Columbia River, I said, oh, yeah, man, I'd like to do that. And so we had a phenomenal bike ride up there and a great time. Then we was like, well, we wanted to do some kayaking. And we just kind of like, yeah, there's a spot's a possibility. And we had some wonderful things up there by the Columbia River, didn't we? It's like we didn't know where there was a spot to launch our kayak, but I'm just looking on the old Garmin map, you know, on the front of our RV. And it's like, I see where the water is got like a road right next to it. And I said, honey, that might be a boat ramp. And sure enough, we got there and it was. Now we were naughty. Do you remember how we were naughty?
Michael, you're not supposed to tell him that.
No, we there's plenty of places to park the vehicles. There's a lot of boats or the trucks with the trailers there, and we put our RV up next to one of them. You know, there's very courteous and respectful for every other people. And we get back and we're kind of on the way out, and it's like, well, I forget, is it an adventure pass? But we were supposed to have had a pass, and nobody ticketed us.
We weren't aware of that in Washington.
Yeah, well, there's supposed to be a $10 pass. Or is it $30 for the year or something like that?
I don't know, but I don't know where we would have gotten it anyway because there was no printing machines. But nonetheless, John says that when he was on a Boy Scout trip, went to the Gettysburg battleground with the Boy Scout troop, and they let us walk the battleground at night, and that was pretty cool. So, John, tell us where. He said in Connecticut. So we were close. We have such great history on the East Coast.
Like the Minuteman when we went to the Minuteman National.
That was in
Park, I think,
Massachusetts.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
I think so. Anyway, yeah, not too far from Boston area, but.
And Gracie says, I plan on a trip from point to point. However, I'm making room for on-plan pleasures. And we 100% agree. I mean, we're huge on being able to just go wherever the road leads.
Amen, Gracie.
On that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And then John continues to say, she did meet them because she was traveling Robert and she was moderating for him, Chuck. Okay, John
Chucker, Waterbury, Connecticut. Okay.
Yeah, when you say that she was able to meet them, she was with Traveling Robert, because I know Traveling Robert is at M21. So Linda, our wonderful Linda, is there, as well as Cat, we miss you, but we know you're having fun, so we don't blame you. Have a pina colada for us. Mellow Nomadic is there.
Marshall's
Adventures.
There.
Who?
Nate. Yep.
Yeah, Land Cloud Adventures. I mean, yeah, everybody's there.
Tim, right? He had a little problem getting there with his vehicle, but he finally got another vehicle and got up there.
Yeah, Mo Bang for your bucks.
Mo Bang for your buck.
Tim is there. Even Captain
Red
Jack
is there.
Yep, Captain Jack's there. So they're having a good time, and we wish them safe travels. My understanding is, Nate, one of the things, Land Cloud Adventures, one of the things he's really hoping to experience on his journey is the Northern Lights. And those will
go north, young man, go north.
But I think tomorrow I'm seeing that there is a really good likelihood of northern lights up on the eastern
Oh, you got me thinking
northern.
now. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
going
the
to pull up
KP index.
the KP index.
Right.
We're going
And
to
you
take a
know how
look
I
and
know, honey?
see. No.
Ow.
Oh, well, that's for storms. I mean, barometric pressure when it goes down, Grace's body, it's like she's the canary in the coal mine.
Right.
It's
I
just
make
not going to
more
be.
noise. More noise
Yes,
than
I just
snap, crackle, pop.
give her a couple glasses of wine and stay out of her way. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Someone say why?
So I said we would go out for dinner. She's not going to be cooking tonight. She gets a night on the town.
Woo! We are going to our new favorite fast food, which is El Pollo Loco. And they make some really good chicken. And one of the benefits about that is it's right on track with, he's not in here right now, but it's right on track with the dog park. So we have a little guy that likes that dog park.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, honey.
Hmm.
I can't believe it. You know, the way your body feels shouldn't really have anything to do with solar activity, but I'm going to show you what it looks like.
It says 3.
If it's going to focus.
I can't see the lines. Are there lines there?
What I need to do is get something behind it. So that
why don't you do a screenshot?
Focus on something else. Here we go. I'll get a pillow. Can you see it now?
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Okay. See that graph? What's going way up?
So if you look, where my finger is here is like today, and then the next day, and then the day after that. So each one of these up at the top are the days. So it's KP3. And the end of tomorrow, it goes up to KP6, and that is way, way up there. So that means if you've got a drone, your GPS may or may not be working if you're up in like Montana or Minnesota, or maybe even up there in the upper part of Michigan, you know, the upper part there as you get to Canada. But yeah, so who knows, maybe Nate might get to see a little bit of something tomorrow evening. KP6, that is good for the people who want to go out and see the magnetic activity. If you're a droner, you know, hopefully it wouldn't affect your stabilization, but you know, just kind of be aware.
A drone during the northern lights?
You could, and you know, if you need to have it come back home, and you hit the RTH, return to home, it may go to RTC. It may return to China. It may not go where you want it to go. You know, these things were built in China. That's where DJI comes from. But hopefully, no, they'll be fine. But yeah, it is good to be aware. Is that always keep your drone in sight. Be careful. Don't go around by airports. All the other things that we're supposed to do, so that we're respectful for the community and other people.
Now that's been on my bucket list for several years. Seeing the northern lights. Yeah. Never use return to home on a drone. But I have to ask this, okay? If
Daryl, what's going on?
Shit, then you want adventure, and you want to use a return to home, right? Because that's going to get you epic shit, right?
Yeah, you know, one of the things that for those of you who aren't been long-time drone pilots is that if you don't do a calibration of it, it has a magnetic compass basically, and because you say, well, if it's got all this GPS and all these 6-way gyros, does it need anything else? Well, sometimes to make a quick instantaneous decision, it needs actually a magnetic compass. And so if it's not calibrated, as a for instance, if you are like say on a large magnetic body, maybe a big metal table, or on a bridge that has a lot of metal in it, you know, all the rebar that's built in it, your mileage may vary. So yeah, if you hit return to home and it's got something else, you better know how to turn off the return to home really quick.
Definitely.
You might be an unhappy
you're really
camper.
Good at that. So I can just leave all the details to my pilot, my favorite pilot, Michael. So Michael, when drones first became a big thing, and then they started talking about you needed to have a pilot's license to fly a drone, Michael started studying everything under the sun.
Part 107.
So literally he took a practice test prior to taking the pilot license. And what did you get? 98%?
Yeah, 97, whatever. Yeah.
97.
It turned out fine. I seem
very
like
disappointed with those numbers. Now, mind you, I was happy when I got a C in school. A C. Michael was disappointed with his 97%.
Well, Grace, that was because of all that Mexican food you ate. You know, you would be, do you want some more? CC. So that's what was going on. She loves her Mexican food.
Derek says it will return to the last location? Shown location, I believe. So,
but you know, one thing about, go ahead. Sorry.
In the woods, GPS doesn't always work.
You know, that's a real interesting thing because right now, the big buzz for those of us who have problems with cell service when you're out in the boonies and, you know, the speeds are slow, if at all. And so, you know, there's some hope that Elon Musk and Starlink is that, you know, this will be fast service out in the woods. Well, yeah, if you have a nice view of the satellite, because the satellite, they're going over 10,000 miles an hour. So each satellite is only going to be with you going across the sky for about 90 seconds. So even though the dish looks like it's in one spot, electronically it's moving the beam with the satellite. And it's got to pick up another one. And if you don't have like about 180 degrees is side to side. If you don't have 130 degrees, you won't have signal all the time. Anyway, that's getting kind of technical, but yeah. So the same concept is what Daryl is saying. Yeah, if you don't have enough area, you may not have GPS signal. So good luck with that, right? So what does John have to say here? He's got a nice long one. And yes, from N21 Trucks, she was traveling with Robert. I saw them. Oops, Grace, what happened?
Sorry.
We lost.
I'm trying to read this. Return to home.
Yes, was moderating for him. Yeah, you know, moderators like Kenny, great people, Sue when she can be there, and others, Dyson's and things. It's so helpful for us because, you know, it's like you can juggle. And some days, you know, at least for me, is the gear works better than others. Like today, after a week of having some problems with a software upgrade that one of the companies had, Wirecast Live or Telestream, and you know, I had to reconfigure everything. My soundboard stopped working, and so. But now I can have I have a laptop here, and I can see the comments. I have it on a breakout, but the laptop is connected right here. So I just saw where it says hello at the Dyson's Crazy Adventure from Kenny. So yeah, it's nice when I can look at the camera and actually be looking at your comments. But some days, Grace, our mileage may vary, doesn't it?
I just wanted to remind everybody that Gina will be going on live tonight from the campground, and I am going to put that link in. She will be going live at 6 p.m. following us. So I've got that.
Look who's here.
Banner. Huh?
Yeah, look who just popped up. I think it's time if somebody wants to come up. Oops, the wrong button. There it is.
Ron
Redheaded Riding Hood's here. And Ron is here. So, hey, guys. Anybody wants to come up and join us? I think it is 41 past the hour. We have another. What's that?
It's definitely close enough. We are going to, you know, the last 5 minutes, we want to make sure to sing to Kenneth.
Yes.
Let me find that link. Hold on here.
I see it there. Isn't that the one you just put up there?
No.
Isn't this it?
No, that was for Gina.
Oh, that's for Gina's. Oh, okay. Sorry.
So, I'm getting that right now. Hang in here. So anybody there that wants to come on into the party so we can start preparing for our song.
Party.
I put that up there for you to join us. We want to make sure that our awesome, incredible mod, Kenneth, has a wonderful birthday. So we want to be able to have a nice group song for him. Everybody bring in your harmonizing. I can play a little gong.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about what's going on, Will, with the good boys and girls there at M21 coming from Ron
Yeah.
and Red and whoever else might want to cop up and tell us about what's happening up there. I wonder how your weather is. And if you could say hi to some of our other friends. I think we mentioned a lot of them, but
So many.
Corey and Lori, the Northwoods who live there, I'm sure they're being
Ron
good hosts.
is here
Hey,
with us.
Ron, how do you do there, senor?
We met Ron in Oregon, and he's traveled from the Pacific Northwest all the way to Michigan. You get around, dude.
Yeah, I try to. It's so much fun meeting everybody at these different meetups, and the Pacific Northwest where I met you guys. I had never been in the Pacific Northwest before in my entire life, and so that was an extra special treat when you get an opportunity to go across places like Utah, and I think I went through. Of course, I went through Colorado on the way there, and a little bit of Idaho, but I'd never been in the California redwoods, so I diverted from. I was going to go up through Bend from Utah, but I decided no, I'm going to go take this opportunity to go see the redwoods, and so I veered off towards Reno, and then went that direction went to the California redwoods. Never seen
Right by our
trees so.
house.
Yes, never seen trees. So I thought I'd seen big trees before. No, no,
Yeah.
these trees were that much bigger and then some. So, and I got to meet you guys there. Got to see the Oregon coast, which it's incomparable. It's not really my type of recreational coast like the East Coast is along the beaches.
Yeah.
But for scenery, it cannot be beat. It is absolute. Sorry for the bouncy table. I rented this RV, and I don't know, the table's just a little bit shaky. I don't know if that's a normal RV thing or what, but I'm here at M21. I'm here at M21. Decided to treat myself special and rented an RV for this event. And usually,
Oh, you did. What? Tell us about what you're renting.
Oh, you'd have to ask me.
Oh, sorry. I mean,
it's a 24,
a big one or a little one?
It's a 24-foot pull behind. They only really had one class, one size choice when I decided to do this event in an RV in a camper. It's a pull behind by 24 foot. Your standard
Nice.
2019 model pull behind
cool.
trailer.
Is
and
did you already
really
have
nice.
it all wired up? Sorry, did you already have it wired
they
up?
actually the RV center is called Carlton's RV in I'm not sure of the town, but it's about 25 miles from here, and they came and brought it, set it up for me, and they'll come back and pick it up Monday. Oh, work. So I hope I'm coming in well.
Yeah, so tell us about your new channel name. I'm really glad that you changed it, because your old name, I'll be honest, I was looking for you for like a week after our last get together, and I couldn't find your channel. So I'm so glad you changed your name. Yeah,
that was a problem. As it turns out, there's quite a few Ron C's, and the first one that usually comes up when I was searching for my own name to see how it was coming up. Once I started posting videos, and I was encouraged by members of this community to do just that, and start a channel on my own, and that's where the channel started. And then I started getting people who were liking the channel and joining up with me, and got the reached that first goal of 100 and got the unique ID. So really, because everybody had already known me in the nomadic and in the van life and is somewhat in the RV community for the past 5 years as Ron C. It was obvious that somehow or another I was going to have to keep that in there, and I kept it in phonetically.
Yeah, this is clever.
Yeah, and so I thought, it's kind of generic, Ron C's America, but everybody's gonna know who that is just because
Right.
of the fanatic there. And I thought it worked out pretty good. It has. There's only been one person who didn't get it right off the bat, but picked it up eventually. And but everybody else, I was gone for a little bit. My dad was ill and then passed away, and I was gone a little bit. I was having some things going on in my life after the Oregon meetup, and when I came back with the new name and hoped everyone will remember me, but recognize me, and my new channel name is Ron Sees America. And
Thanks for
I'm
sharing.
glad they
Well,
did.
I'd like to hear a little bit, if you could, Ron, is tell us a little bit about what your weather's like, and kind of just paint a little bit about, I don't know if there's trees, I imagine there are where you're staying. And then after that, oh, John did come up. And so John, I'm sure wants to hear about your culinary delights, about what you've been eating up there. So we'll let
Definitely
John
want to
kind
hear
of
about
weigh in
food.
later. But why
Well,
don't you tell us
today
first
you
about
just
what
missed
your
it. You guys got to go watch the video. I did homework. I did mock pizza tonight.
Now I want
well,
pizza
hold
for
on. So
dinner.
I want Ron, tell us a little bit about what the weather's like, and are you in the woods, or what's the campground like? Tell us how that is.
Well, there's two parts of this campground. The more residential part of the campground is really wooded, and we just took basically what would be called a hay ride by any other name without the hay. But tonight we didn't have any hay, but we had the rest of it, and we rode around and back in the residential area. It's very wooded, very densely wooded. Out here in the part that we're in is more open. Lets a little more sun down in here. The weather, it's one of those days where it's on the little on the windy side, but it's one of those days where it's cloudy and it's sunshiny. And as a cloud goes by and you're in the shadow of the cloud, the temperature drops 10 degrees and you got to put your jacket back
Oh,
on. Then
okay.
when the cloud goes by, the sun comes back out, you have to take the jacket back off. It's
I
one
like
of those.
that kind of weather.
Yeah, it's one of those days. And just when we got in here, I'm pretty sure when everybody got here at some point, it was raining. When I got here on Thursday, it had been raining all day. It was just swampy out here. But the water drains off really good here in the Lake of Dreams campground in Merrill, Michigan, and the weather once the rain went away, we had a little rain overnight last night. Silly me, left all my groceries outside, but
Oh
it's
no.
awesome. Well, it's most of it was stuff that only grows in the rain. So you got to have rain.
Mushrooms?
Well, yeah, no, not mushrooms, but I had mushrooms. No, it's just the vegetables that I had bought. I left out on the table, and I had pulled the awning in because you don't want that out when it's windy. But
And some of the people, are they sharing food, or everybody kind of doing their own cooking, or how does that work?
We had potluck earlier. There was all kinds of things that were contributed to that. Everything from fruit, cracker trays to there was a hamburger hash type dish that I thought was really good. There was some dumplings and I believe it was chicken and dumplings, and just a bunch of good homes, some sausage, some and of course desserts, and there was some brownies there. Yes, but those have been generously enjoyed and throughout most of the day by. I've been sipping on a little bit of apple cinnamon moonshine tonight. I hadn't finished it because I knew I wanted to come and not be on, but just come and watch some of the lives tonight, and didn't want to get too drowsy because
So for John now, hearing that, I'm wondering if John's got any thoughts in terms of, like, have you ever done any potlucks with other people, like out camping or anything like that?
I've actually done in Scouts. We've done a Boy Scout. What we do is we would take other during Boy Scout, or what do they call it, camp during the summer. We would get a whole bunch of other groups, other patrols together, and we would do those things. And we've had some real good cooking going on, especially when once you get a couple of brothers together who know how to make a cobbler.
Oh, you can't beat that.
Make a what?
I make the greatest beach cobbler in the neighborhood.
Peach
And
cobbler?
I know how to do, the what do they call that big cast iron device? I get the name of it.
You're not talking about Dutch oven or something like that.
Dutch oven. It's Dutch oven. I know how to make it in a Dutch oven.
Okay.
Right.
You can make a lot of it in a Dutch oven. You're making me hungry, John.
I know.
I do, and I even know how to do port reductions over a fire.
Nice.
A port reduction.
Okay, so now I have a very important question for you. If you can make a peach cobbler and you can make a pork reduction, after I eat all this, can you make a grace reduction?
Well, I could always give you a lower. You see, I know how to do other options.
Oh, I like.
Would you like to be cleansed, Grace? We could do something to cleanse you.
No. You don't want to do any of those things. Those things get wicked after a while.
Yeah, and not
They
on a
do.
campground either.
No, not on a campground.
Not on a campground.
Can I clarify what I said earlier in the chat, please?
I'll be right back.
The RV DJ with Traveling Robert on his live stream from N21.
Okay,
Yep.
nice. Yeah, that would be wonderful. And we knew she was going to be there, and that she is currently.
She is there. She was there. She was there, and she was moderating for Traveling Robert.
Oh, how fun! I bet they're all.
Well,
I bet all of you are having a great time.
Just to expand on that, Sonia's down the way for me playing music right now. The RV DJ is DJing down there right now.
So
Robert just sang a lovely tune earlier. Traveling Robert sang for us earlier, and
traveling in my RV where I want to be.
He sang the song "Lady," or was it by Lionel Richie? "Lady."
Oh, I know that song.
Yeah, he sang that song very well. It was very enjoyable, and and the party's rolling on down there, from what I can hear.
Speaking of songs,
good.
Because this is how long do we have before Kenneth's birthday? 2 days?
Yep.
27th. Yeah, one day before my daughter's.
So, exactly. So
that's next week, guys.
We want to make sure that we treat our very special Kenneth with a very special song. So everybody, la 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 la.
Uh-oh, here we go.
La 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 la.
La 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 la. Okay, so I'll give it the 3 count, and then we can all do a happy birthday, Kenneth. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kenny. Happy birthday to you. Many more.
Gosh, I needed music.
Nice, honey.
We hope you have a fantastic birthday.
Happy birthday, Kenny.
Happy birthday, brother Kenneth.
Just nailed it.
AKA Fortman.
And so we will be signing off. We encourage.
Wait a second, Grace. Sorry. Just a second. I'll let you continue on. But I went upstairs for a reason. John, 60 years ago, my mother, when I was a boy, she would make like chili and things like that. And it was in her Dutch oven.
Yes,
now I took the Dutch oven. I was going to take it down to my daughters to see if she wanted the Dutch oven, because Grace doesn't want the Dutch oven. But I mean, this sucker, if you had you were out RVing and somebody was threatening you, one hit with this, and they're going to leave you alone. But
They're going to leave
the
you
Dutch
alone.
oven. I still remember as a boy.
For sure.
I'm sure. Okay,
Well, the Dutch ovens that I had were the cast iron, black cast irons, and they were
black
beautiful.
ones, yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you got. They're just like the that griddle that I got in there. What was it called? I forget the name of it. Blackstone.
Blackstone.
Yeah, we have a Blackstone.
You gotta season those tops just the same way you season those Dutch ovens.
The Northwoods material. I just want to remind everybody that we are going to go ahead. Gina's going to be doing her live from the campground.
Look at Ron. He's got lights. He's doing lights for us.
Oh my God! Is that what
a
you
light
guys
show?
Yeah, this is what happens when you have a DJ around playing music. You got to light you gotta
Sonia.
Yep, you got to light the stage
Lady
up.
Sonia, she's one of them good ones.
Man.
Okay.
Party.
Some of her dance parties.
So
and the Dyson say they make a killer breakfast.
Oof.
Make sure
she
you
makes me want to get up and boogie.
We wish we were there. Yep, Ron's a party animal.
We'll sure do it.
Thank you for the thumbs up, Daryl, and everybody else. I hope you enjoyed it. Kenny, thank you for all you do. And so is it time, Grace, for us to do the raid over at Gina's?
It is.
Thank you all for having me.
Thank you for being
here. You betcha. Thanks for coming, and Ron and John and everybody else who is out
problem. There. Anytime.
Okay, shall we go ahead and finish with the ending? Okay, that drives them away when I start singing. Okay. Happy trails to you. Until we meet again. I love it. I tell you, I guess some people, if we have a couple libations, and we'd be fun. Now, Ron, I hope you have a great time. Tell everybody we send our love, and I'm so happy that you're there.
I will definitely do that.
I look forward to seeing you down the road, I hope.
All right, from M21, this is Ron Sees America. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
You betcha. Ron Sees America. Have a good time. And Big John, good to see you again.
2, 1. Happy trails.
Trails to you.
Until
we meet again.
Bye-bye.
Peace out. Bye for now, guys.